Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This video I was considering for a long time in order to put this video on YouTube or not to do so because it is not so interesting. It's maybe boring for you, but I would like to tell something because when I was developing my channel, it's clearly stated there that if I am flying on Boeing 737 or let's say or Airbus for fun or helicopter as well, you can see bunch of the mistakes from my side. For example, I forget to put uh, the right radial on departure, or let's say I forget to put some transition mm, uh, when to fill the FMC and so on and so on. So that's why if you can look on my basic information on my channel, you can see that I'm writing there. Then you can see, and I will learn you how to properly um, let's say service and how to properly serve on the Boeing 737, which I am the captain. I'm as well the ground instructor. And what I would like to tell, it's valid for most of you who would like to become a professional pilots. For those of you who are not, let's say, flight simmers but more gamers, this video is not for you, okay? It's basically for the people who would like to become a professional pilot. How you become a professional pilot? It's a really good question, and nowadays it's really hard, and it's really, or let's say, uh, it costs a lot of the money to make all of the trainings, okay? But imagine that you finish your flight training, so you have commercial pilot license, you have ATPL license, and you are allowed to fly on multi-engine airplanes. That's quite okay. Now we have to realize that Boeing 737 and as well the Airbus A320 are the airplanes which is called MCC. What does it mean? It means that it is multi-crew cooperation. That's clearly stated that before you start your flight training in your flight training organization, you have to absolve the MCC course, okay? So that means that they will learn you what is the multi-crew cooperation. The multi-crew cooperation is basically that you have to learn your standard operational procedures in your company, and there are divided procedures which are doing the pilot flying, the pilot monitoring, what is the competence of the captain, what he should or he or she should do, and what is the competence of, for example, co-pilot. In some companies which I flew for, basically the captain was the right person to make a go around, walk around, and as an example, the first officer was responsible for flight documentations, emergency safety equipment on board, and make a preliminary pre-flight procedure. So that's it. We have to realize that now we have much more persons around, okay? We have ground handling agent, we have maintenance crew, okay? We have flight dispatchers, company dispatchers, okay? We have a refueling guy with the truck, okay? We have cabin crews, and all of these peoples are involving in civil aviation operations. So when you absolve the multi-crew cooperation training, they will learn you what is your responsibility and what you have to do if you are assigned as a captain or as a first officer. Okay, so this is the first thing I would like to point out. The second thing I would like to point out, it's that let's say the Boeing 737, it's so-called type-rated airplane. That means that you have to have the training of this airplane, or a full flight, or let's say full motion flight simulator. And once you absolve this training and you are entering the company, you are performing the light trainings with safety pilot on the jump seat. Okay, and then you are released to the service, and you have to fly as a first officer. That's the procedure. And now I am going to basic point. What is CRM? Few months ago, I uploaded the video which I was trying to fly a Parabutan on Phoenix airplane, and I was completely wrong on raw data on departure, and I made some mistakes while I'm performing the standard instrument arrival and approach as well. Why I'm mentioning this one? Maybe I have some dislikes on the video. I will completely accept these dislikes. I will accept dislike as well on this video, which I am currently right now recording, and it's because there was something wrong in the video which you don't like personally, and I'm happy for each like and each dislike as well, because dislikes gives you some push to improve yourself while you're performing some videos or some kind of things like this one. Okay, and the CRM is basically the CRM is somebody is called crew resource management. Okay, and somebody is calling it cockpit resource management. It really doesn't matter. The point is the behavior of the people. Okay, once you enter the company, you have the card, and in this card there are the bunch of the trainings you have to absolve when you are entering into the real life flying. For example, you have to absolve the fire training, security training, ditching training, dangerous goods training, emergency safety equipment training, and so on and so on. There are plenty of things, and one of the things is you have to absolve the CRM or crew resource management training. And the crew resource management, as I said before, is something like how to behave. Okay, because the civil aviation, most of the accidents was because there was improper interaction or cooperation between flight crews. Okay, when you are coming to the briefing room before flight, you sit down and you have envelope which contains all your documentations or a flight plan and so on and so on. The first and the very first ask from the captain side is for all of the crew members, so for first officer and cabin crew members, are you fit to fly? Well, if somebody feel a little bit sick, for example, he feels that some kind of illness is going on, but it's still not presented, he or she should give the hand and tells, hey captain, I feel a little bit sick. And captain tells, okay, if you are not comfortable, you can call to the our flight dispatcher, because there is always standby crew, so we can replace you anytime. But sometimes the things are changes, and for example, the flight crew or cabin crew feel sick during the flight. Okay. What does it mean? It means that you lose your performance because you are no longer so powerful as you were before. And now I will give you the example. For example, the first officer's mother has died 2 weeks ago, and he's still like behind, and he's still thinking about the dead mother, for example, and he's his focus on flying, it's not performing like we would like to have. Okay, so the responsibility of the captain is kind words, and tell to the first officer, hey man, don't worry, you would like to help with something, for example with preliminary procedures, or I will check for you the airplane documentation, or I will check for you the emergency safety equipment. Okay, so there is one example. Okay, another example is for example, we are in hurry. Okay, if we do not catch the, let's say, the standard departure time, we should give the slot time, which is basically issued by Eurocontrol, and for example our departure time will move, for example, from 1400 UTC into 1600 UTC, so we have 2 hours of delay. Okay, so in this case the captain has to push the crew and push the ground personnel in order to catch the time, but he or she as a captain need to perform. Yes, you have to push the crew and all the personnel around, but you have to push them in proper way. So do not scream, do not let's say using not so kind words. Okay, I will say it like diplomatically right now. So this is all about the crew resource management. So crew resource management is some kind of the thing, or let's say it you have to absolve it, and the crew resource management leads you to behave like a people, not a monkey. Okay, because what is expected from the flight crews and cabin crews? High professionalism, and if you are professional pilot, you have to keep some certain rules, and your behavior, for example, to mad passenger, or let's say to part of your crew who is not performing well, to ask him what's happened, may I help you, or something like that. So this was the basic explanation what is crew resource management, and how it is necessary to absolve this training. Okay, because this training teach us to be humans. Okay, to be humans, to behave like a kind of the person, and to behave like a professional within the professional way. Um, uh, so if you watch my video with Phoenix in Parabutan, you can see many, but many of fatal mistakes. Okay, and it was because I had a COVID and temperatures around 40 degrees of centigrade of my body. So yeah, I was happy to fly it, but somehow I don't realize that I'm doing things in the wrong way. That's why we are multi-crew cooperation and we absolve the crew resource management training in order to help each other. Okay, so that was it. I know it was boring, but this is the basic explanation that you are only human and you can make mistakes, and that's why the the airliners which are carrying too many passengers on board should absolve this crew resource management training, because if you have done proper crew resource management training, it always leads to some incidents, accidents, and fighting against each other, bad mood on the board, and this leads to making much more mistakes and accumulating the mistakes. So that's all, and I hope you like this video, and if you have some times, Google and study what the crew resource management is and what is the main purpose of the crew resource management. Okay, and it is valid as well for communication between air traffic controller and the particular flight crews. Well, if there is professional air traffic controller, a professional pilot, no matter if you don't feel okay, you are angry, you have to realize yourself in your head that you are professional and you have to behave like professional, and once again behave like a human and be kind of a person. So that's it, and I wish you shortly will be the Christmas, but enjoy your winter operation or on your flight simulators, and have safe flights and have a nice flights, especially on the VATSIM. So thank you very much for watching, and see you on with the next video. Have a nice day.